The conference championship has come and gone, and we are now with a Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl. But my question for the Super Bowl really stems back to the conference championship. Were both teams in it just because the other coaches didn't realize that you should take the points? We have Sean Payton on a 4th and 1, who should have took a field goal and went up 10-0. You can give me all the analytics you want. You could talk about whatever you like on that front. That's great. 7-0 compared to 10-0 in the mind of a player and the coaches and everybody in that game changes because it's no longer a one-score game. It's still a two-score game. And yes, could have went up 14-0. The game would have been over according to the final score. But you don't know that at that point. In the playoffs, you just take the points. You have to take the points. Now, we're talking about a team that doesn't really have another wide receiver outside of Cortland Sutton that's doing anything. Hell, their biggest player was Marvin Mims for the day. Troy Franklin wasn't playing. Pat Bryant got hurt. Evan Ingram was a bust of a signing. You don't have J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. R.J. Harvey is not that dude, and we can have a whole nother conversation about that. But, like, especially when the snow came, those little pitter-patter steps, they didn't do much. He is a nice complimentary back. He is not the fullback. And all this, and you have a backup quarterback. You take every point you can get with a backup quarterback because you want to leverage it as much as you can. And if you're up 10-0 with that Broncos defense that's coming in against Will Campbell and everybody else and just making them look foolish because like they're a strong front and they are a strong unit combined, and you don't pay attention to that, I don't care what stat you pull up, what deep dive analytic you do. Oh, you played again game 10,000 times. It ends up this way 90% of the time. You play the game once. With those players, with those coaches, and Sean Payton, you screwed that up. Backup quarterback, lack of weapons. You take every point you can get because, one, you're already kind of lucky to be there. Two, you're kind of lucky to be up 7-0. Three, you're real lucky that your defense is phenomenal enough to stop Drake May, who was an MVP candidate. Yes, he has been having a terrible playoffs, but still, you have to know that, like, he could pop at any time and he could run. And a running quarterback could change the game like that. So, I just think it was a huge mistake and that Denver should be in the Super Bowl right now. Right this second. If it wasn't for that mistake, you go up 10-0, that game changes a little bit. Now they're pressing a little more. Now you can play a little bit more conservatively. Not that I like to do that. But you could go for a different field goal. You should have known the weather was coming at that point. You could have went up 10, then possibly 13. And you saw that the Patriots offense doesn't have the weapons. They don't have the weapons. It's finally coming out after this weak strength of schedule, after a beat-up Chargers offensive line, after a beat-up offensive line for the Texans with a terrible C.J. Stroud. And they're facing the backups like they've had the easiest path I've ever seen, and it's finally coming out that they're a good team. Coached by a great coach, but it ain't it. They're not ready. They're not there. I don't think they really have a shot, but that's another video down the road. I just want to go over the conference championships today and my thought on it. Next, same thing. What a hell of a game to end, though. This might be the Super Bowl. The Rams versus the Seahawks. Both quarterbacks were slinging it. Wow, look at Sam Darnold coming back. And if you're a Jets fan, that's just gotta suck. You got the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. The Jets couldn't do right by Sam Darnold. Just insane, man. Insane. Mike McDonald's looking great as a coach. Kubiak's looking great as an offensive coordinator. Jackson Smith and Jigba skating all nice like Christy Yamaguchi with his routes. Man, are they scheming him open. Man, as an Eagles fan, do I wish we could have somebody that could scheme anybody open, but I digress there. Cooper Kupp's getting his revenge game when they were trying to force him to retire and then talking trash through the league so he didn't get hired. There's so many things. Kenneth Walker's finally being used. Oh my God, this guy's so good. And Zach Charbonnet's injured. And finally, Kenneth Walker gets the chance. And he shines with it. He's been shining with it. Use Kenneth Walker, and we'll talk more about DFS in a couple of days in that video about how Kenneth Walker is going to be the celebrity superstar for you. You got Greg Halati, though, showing up in the 2-minute drives and in the third quarter a little more than I wanted. But that's another thing for a DFS down the road. But he played pretty well, got some receptions in it, so something you got to keep an eye on. But you got Cooper Kupp. You got JSN. You got AJ Barner doing pretty well, but it's amazing for this team. Like, Torrey Horton went down. Elijah Arroyo went down. Like, they could be even better. They could be even better. And that defense is swarming, and Nick Uemori is just insane. And, like, I don't know if his role would have been as good in the other 31 teams. He would have been an average player, but Mike McDonald said, hey, I had Kyle Hamilton. It worked. Let me get a new Kyle Hamilton. And damn, does it work. But we're sitting here with an amazing game. Puka goes off. JSN goes off. Devontae Adams has a decent game. Kyron Williams scores on a beautifully drawn play. And again, please, Eagles, just steal some of these plays for the love of God. But I just don't know how you beat Seattle. And the Stafford and the Rams, they had a chance with 5 minutes left. They could have kicked the field goal to go down by 1. And they didn't. And again, give me all the analytics 10,000 times, blah, 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 blah. We just talked about it in the last game. Take the damn points. Give your defense, give that defensive line that you put all that money into a chance to prove it. Give Jair Verse a chance to prove it. Fisk, whoever, Kobe Young, you name them all. It doesn't matter. Name whoever you want. Give them a chance to prove why they were so good this year. Why they could just rush forward, put 7 back. Maybe they blitz up the middle. For the love of God. I mean, is Greg Zabel that good of a guard? Like, he is. But it's crazy because, like, to attack Sam Darnold, you come up the middle, and they just couldn't get to him. He had such a great game, Sam Darnold. But if I'm the Rams, I'm kicking the field goal. You're down by 1. Even if they score a touchdown and kick the extra point, you're down by 8. You still needed a touchdown. It's still a touchdown at that point. I think the Rams screwed up Matthew Stafford's ability to win and ride off into the sunset. Probably comes back for 1 more year, but I digress there. It's also another video. The Broncos screwed up not realizing to utilize the points where they could utilize it and play with what they got to play, the cards in their deck. They tried to play with the cards that Peyton wanted to be drawn next instead of realizing the cards they already had. And now we have a Patriots-Seahawks Super Bowl, and right now I think it's going to be a shellacking by the Seahawks over the Patriots, but that's not my official prediction. We're going to talk about that in a video later on in the week, possibly next week, for the simple fact that I just want to go through all the stats. One last thing, Tyreek Woolen, shut up on the sidelines. You were great in cover 3 under Pete Carroll. You don't really fit this scheme. Shouldn't be yapping. Shouldn't be yapping. There's like 5 teams you're going to be able to go to next year. Shh. I can't wait for this Super Bowl. It's not the 2 teams I thought it'd be. If you go back through my Twitter, you'll see I made fun of the Seahawks for the Sam Darnold signing. I was wrong. You let me know if the 2 coaches screwed up by not putting points on the board, but I believe they did.